All right, so I think the music choices are getting closer and closer to what I want them to be. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux. There's a quote. It just says quote. But it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk today. And boy, do we have a doozy. I do apologize for not being here yesterday. I slept through Tech Talk yesterday, because I got home pretty late Monday and had not looked through any news and was like also just exhausted and tired. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I meant to issue a statement yesterday, but I was just, again, so tired. Like no. I'm just not going to do it. So yeah, I didn't, but I spent all day yesterday, trying to gather all the news I could from Monday afternoon when I left, all of Tuesday. And I mean, all of Tuesday, because like I finally got up, started doing the work, and then just more and more things kept coming in. So finally I have a list. Also, I do want to give special thanks to one of my former coworkers over at Red Hat, who came through yesterday, was able to give a nice little gift, to where things are kind of funded again a little bit. Or at least enough to where I don't feel like I have to rush out for the rest of the week and do Uber. However, there's still some, probably going to do it this weekend. Unfortunately, not going to DC to show Biden the red line. Even though I would love to be there, with my comrades in DC protesting the genocide in Palestine. But unfortunately, I have to make money in order to live. Let's see here. Today's program, though, is news, a whole bunch of it, and would probably behoove me to get it done before 1 p.m. Preferably before 12:30. That way I can get prepared, because I have a meeting with someone at 1. So no gaming today. Again, I know. Eventually I'll play a game on stream again. Here's looking at you Thursday. Yeah, none today on stream. Hopefully I can sit down and play some Horizon in my personal time, though. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the news. A lot of things happened. A lot of fucking things happened over the past couple of days. So let's hop into it. First off, though, Microsoft layoffs hit HoloLens and Azure cloud teams. On Monday, Microsoft announced that layoffs reportedly affecting around 1,000 employees. As reported previously by CNBC, the mixed reality department working on HoloLens 2 is one of the areas affected. Separately, Business Insider reported that Azure for Operations and Mission Engineering has also seen cuts of hundreds of employees. Microsoft spokesperson Craig Sincata said in a statement emailed to The Verge, quote, "Earlier today, we announced a restructuring of Microsoft's mixed reality organization. We remain fully committed to the Department of Defense's IVAS program and will continue to deliver cutting-edge technology to our soldiers. In addition, we will continue to invest in W365 to reach the broader mixed reality hardware ecosystem. We will continue to sell HoloLens 2 while supporting existing HoloLens 2 customers and partners." I would not be surprised if this is, again, cutting out redundancies in the HoloLens team now that Microsoft is working with Meta. While Meta isn't necessarily providing anything to, like, I don't think anything substantial to HoloLens. I feel like they are probably working off of each other, like copying each other's homework when it comes to augmented reality, because Quest 3 does it really well. The HoloLens 2, that's literally what it is. Let's see. This round of layoffs comes more than a year after Microsoft laid off more than 10,000 people, and CEO Satya Nadella said the company was changing its hardware portfolio. Since then, Microsoft has closed its acquisition of Activision Blizzard, invested heavily in AI, and recently begun a push for AI PCs with a new round of Surface devices powered by Qualcomm chips. And I'll have more on the AI stuff a little bit later. Normally, I do like to keep a lot of the stuff. Well, as you've probably seen with Tech Talk Thursday, I tend to keep a lot of things clumped together. But I realized this morning that I do have two different places where Microsoft is being mentioned. But I kind of separated by like, hey, there's Microsoft specific things, but then there's also the AI stuff that is being talked about at Computex, which is heavily Microsoft focused because it's a lot of the hardware that was announced this week in Taiwan. But yeah, between Microsoft sitting spending all that money on AI, Activision Blizzard, and then, you know, entering into this partnership with Meta, yeah, it's not surprising to kind of see like the HoloLens team being affected by this. I'll be interested to see what their Azure operations are going to look like going forward. I mean, I do not use Azure, and maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah. Microsoft formed the Azure for Operations and Mission Engineering Department in 2021 to encompass, quote, moonshots like the Azure Space Unit, seeking to work with companies like SpaceX and roll out a portable data center in a box. Other teams in the group work on projects like support for telecoms and work on quantum computing. Okay. So, yeah, they're like, yeah. All this pie in the sky shit, yeah, we're done here. We're just all in on AI. That's what it is. We're all in on AI to sit there and cut costs for all these other companies, because they can use computers to do what everybody else was doing and just display. I think it should come up with a term for this. I think I had one, but I forgot what it was. But like to displace a whole bunch of employees from their jobs, without really giving them other things to do. So you know what? Yeah, your job is redundant because of AI. Here's your pink slip. In other Microsoft news, Microsoft blocks Windows 11 workaround that enabled local accounts. Before PC users can enjoy everything Windows 11 has on tap, they must first enter an email address that's linked to a Microsoft account. If you don't have one, you'll be asked to create one before you can start setting it up. A frequently used trick to circumvent this block is a small but ingenious step by entering a random email address and password which doesn't exist and causes the link to fail. You end up directly with the creation of a local account and can thus avoid creating an official account with Microsoft. Many users prefer this method as a local account promises more control over their own data and more privacy. However, without a Microsoft account, some useful functions are also lost, such as account backup or special features for apps like Copilot. The common method no longer seems to work, so Microsoft has apparently patched this bug. Instead of skipping the account link, you're led into a kind of continuous loop that doesn't end until you enter the correct email address. Previously, it was possible to cut the internet connection in Task Manager before creating an account. Microsoft has since removed this workaround. As a result, many people who previously used this method are now forced to enter a working Microsoft account email address and password or use other methods. Another method of bypassing the account lockdown still exists. You simply have to enter OOBE/bypass NRO in the command prompt during the Windows 11 setup process, which allows you to skip the connection to the internet and thus also the link to a Microsoft account. However, it's questionable how long this option will remain available. It seems that Microsoft is aiming to make the use of Windows 11 dependent on a Microsoft account In combination with the increased cost for Windows users to finally switch to Windows 11, this appears to be a controversial combination. I have used that OOBE bypass NRO thing. I was setting up a Windows 11 virtual machine, went that route. I honestly believe, like, between this and again the aforementioned AI stuff that Microsoft is pushing, this Copilot bullshit that they're pushing, it seems like Microsoft is trying to decrease its market share as it continues to go on. It's like there have been people, and like I will definitely acknowledge that this has existed. There are people who are out there who are saying like, yeah, Microsoft has become an adware spyware company, right? And like that is definitely true. As you can see, I am using Windows 11. I actively am logged into it. I do have a Microsoft account with mine, but I do, like I said, I use one thing that I appreciate this service for, and that's Xbox. I am not entirely sure, and actually I'm curious if I could. So I think I should have, yeah, Workstation Pro. I think my window, yeah, do I not have? Oh no, I do not have a OS installed on here. I thought I did. Apparently I do not. Is it in VMware? No, I don't. Oh, you know what? It must be on my, it has to be on my Mac. On one of my Macs, I set it up. I thought I had it on here, but I think it was on the Mac because I think when I install VMware Fusion, it does ask if you want to install Windows on it. So I think on one of my Macs, I have Windows, and I went through this process of creating a local account. I say all that to posit the question, like if I were to create a offline account, if I were to go through this OOB bypass NRO step, set up a local account that is not connected to Microsoft, and if I try to sign into the Xbox app, does it sign into my Microsoft account through all of Windows? Because if that's not the case, I would say, hey, that's probably the best option for a lot of people. I mean, granted, you've created a local account, it'll always be a local account, but will it then start just putting in the Microsoft account tentacles if you just sign into your Xbox account elsewhere? Almost like if you went to a browser, signed into Gmail, and then you went to Google and you were still signed into Google, even though you just really only wanted to be signed into Gmail. It will be interesting to look at, and it might be something I'll look into to see if that is the case. Because who knows, might be that might be a method I'll go into. Like I'm not at a point where I'm ready to wipe this PC and do a full reinstall, because surprisingly, I've not had to do that in quite some time. Like since I installed Windows 11 on this PC, I've not had to do my like every 6 months reinstall of Windows because something is fundamentally broken. Like I think I've hit the 1 year mark of that, of the TikTok I created that showed me upgrading to Windows 11, but ultimately I didn't upgrade. I just reinstalled the OS and put Windows 11 on it from the jump. Yeah, but that's just me. That's just my scenario. If there are people who are wanting to have a local only install of Windows 11, I feel like those people should exist. Like Microsoft should not be in the business of collecting data, or if they're going to collect it, they should know who they're collecting it from. I would wish they wouldn't collect it at all, but I believe like you should be able to have an operating system that isn't collecting the data. It's me. I want that. Exactly. I know there are people out there. I want that too. But I'm like, but I also want Xbox. Fine, have it. I have the account. Fine, it's whatever. I think, like I said Monday, I am that person who understands the security risk involved in doing the terrible things that people say we should not do, but I do it because I am a glutton for punishment. Have the data. It's whatever. I do not care at this point. I know I should, but I don't. Also, I found MSAI randomly installed on my PC. What? And see, that's the thing. Okay. One, I know I've been ranting constantly about not being able to get the generative Google Gemini to work on my computer. However, I found it does work on my phone. I was looking up diabetic neuropathy last night, and the Gemini, the AI summary showed up on my phone. It does not show up on my PC, but it shows up on my phone. You know what is? Oh no! Oh, I believe you, because my son's PC, which runs Windows 10, has Copilot installed. My Windows 11 PC does not have Copilot installed, and I have not been keeping it off. I am not sure if it's because I'm running Windows 11 Pro that it has not shown up, but my PC does not have Copilot installed. And I'm not sure about my wife. I haven't checked her computer lately, but I don't think she has Copilot installed either. But then again, she does not update her PC as often as I update mine, and as often as I update his, which is even less frequently than mine. Noted how long it was installed there, but they've done this with some games like Candy Crush. See, I wouldn't know about the Candy Crush thing because, like, again, like I mentioned before, like when I was on Windows 10, I was always reinstalling Windows 10. So Candy Crush was just there after a reinstall. So I don't know how they snuck that in, other than, like, I don't know how they would sneak it into people who have had the same Windows installed for years. Because I've done mine every 6 months, it was just there. It may auto update some stuff, but I don't know. All I know is that every time I'm in there, it's always asking for reboots or updates to be applied. It does not seem to affect her work, or it's not like she complains that, oh no, my tabs, my millions of tabs, which would look like this. This is not how I live my life. I'm not sure if you can see all these tabs up here. This is not how I live my life, but this is how she lives hers. And it's not like she's complaining that, oh no, I've lost my tabs. So I don't know if it reboots for her or if it auto updates for her. I might have even turned, she actually might be running Windows 10 Pro, and I might have turned that off. Oh yeah, there could be more. There could be more tabs. And I am surprised there isn't, for as long as, I mean, for everything that went down yesterday, apparently. But yeah, I really find, but yeah, going back to this though, like I really find like it is just a terrible, terrible idea to require people to have to use a Microsoft account. Like even with Apple, right? I can set up a MacBook. I can set up a Mac without having to happen to Apple, without having have an Apple ID. Or if I have one, I don't have to log into it to use the device. It is the same with an iPhone. Like if I like taking an iPhone, iPad out of the box, you do not have to plug into Apple ID to use the device. Now, of course, if you want apps, sure. And with the iPad and the iPhone, unless, well, yeah, actually, even in Europe, you're going to need to sign into your Apple ID. But at least with the Mac, I can go without an Apple ID and can install most of the applications I would need. It's very rare that I'm in the App Store downloading a Mac app. But honestly, I feel like we should definitely be going the Linux route with, like even with Flatpaks and Snaps, where it's like, yeah, I do not have to be logged in order to download apps that I need that I don't need to install through Yum or download off of a website, or apt or whatever it is your distribution of Linux uses. Of course, I'm always thinking of Fedora. Yeah, speaking of Fedora too, I looked at friend of mine sent me, or a friend and I were talking about Nobara Linux the other day. So I am going to investigate this a little bit and see if this might be the software to use if I'm going to switch over to Linux full time because of all this Microsoft bullshit. But yeah, I'll get into the other Microsoft bullshit. There's also some other stuff I would like to discuss with that, but we'll get to that when we get to the AI section of the show. Or like the Copilot / Computex part of the show. Google Lake reveals thousands of privacy incidents. Oh, it's for pay. I was able to read it earlier. Oh, I was able to read this earlier and now I can't read it. That's a bummer. Well, fine. All right, moving on. Will the archive trick work? I don't know. I get it. I understand what 404. I understand what a lot of these websites are doing. I do. But man, it would just be really nice if there was just a free access to information. That way people can learn things without having to sit there and give a whole bunch of money to it. But I understand that, it is just like DC Analyst, we are a reader supported venture. However, I would not be on board with tying articles to paywalls. Not how I roll. Also, still can't believe a Google employee just watched private YouTube videos of Nintendo's. Makes you wonder how. That's on the list. That's on the list. We'll get into that. Well, I guess now that we can't cover the Google thing in tech, we'll just move on to other social media. Like, hey, there's been malicious code that has compromised TikTok accounts belonging to CNN and Paris Hilton, which spreads via direct messages. Even weirder, the hacked accounts aren't really doing anything. A source within TikTok told Forbes that these impacted accounts, quote, do not appear to be posting content, end quote. TikTok issued a statement to The Verge saying that it is, quote, aware of a potential exploit targeting a number of brand and celebrity accounts, end quote. The social media giant is, quote, working directly with affected account owners to restore access, end quote. Semaphore recently reported that CNN's TikTok had been hacked, which forced the network to disable the account. It's unclear if this is the very same hack that has gone on to infect other big time accounts. The news organization said that it was working with TikTok on the back end on additional security measures, end quote. So they got a sus link via DM. That's what it seems like. Let's see. CNN staffers told Semaphore that the news entity had, quote, grown lax, end quote, regarding digital safety practices, with one employee noting that dozens of colleagues had access to the official Twitter account. However, another network source suggests that the breach wasn't the result of someone gaining access from CNN's end. That's about all we know for now. We'll update this post when more news comes in. So it's like, hey, thing has been hacked, but we don't know the extent, which seems like a lot of reporting. But it's like, hey, I feel like the underlying messages here, like, look, don't click shit in your DMs. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. Actually, there is an answer to your question there. It's spread via direct message and doesn't require a download, click, or any form of response beyond opening the chat. It's currently unclear how many accounts have been affected. I thought there was some. I could have sworn I read there was something additional. So it's almost like the NSO group Pegasus shit, but with TikTok. I would not even be surprised if the NSO group had anything to do with this, because boy, Israel really is not liking TikTok. And there were reports earlier. I didn't bring that report down, but I believe I was reading reports yesterday saying that Russia was hit by some of the NSO Pegasus stuff. A lot of their officials have been hacked through the NSO group stuff. So yeah, I would not put it past Israeli state actors doing things to TikTok. And like, how's TikTok handling DMs for this to happen? I don't, yeah, that again, that's nothing that's been discussed. What is this? Is this a post? This is weird. So okay, so let's see, let's check. Yep. So can't read shit on Forbes. That's fun. That is fun. Again, sure would love to know how all this is happening, but again, the news is locked. Again, I get that people are trying to make money off of this, but I feel like you should not be gating critical information like shit being exploited in a popular social media app. And then when you have people who can pay for it, who are sourcing the original articles, but also just like leaving what I imagine is leaving out critical details. Like I imagine that Forbes article may be more informative than anything else. But it's like when I'm hearing it again, this is now like through a third party source. Like this is like, geez, what am I looking for? I guess a tertiary source here. Like, and then even just coming from the Verge post where it's like this. I don't know. This seems really fucking stupid. And it makes me sad. Like I am so fucking burnt out. Whereas I can't even sit down and try to write shit and then try to inject information back into the article that is missing from the places I'm sourcing from. But yeah, that's it would be nice to know. Hopefully we'll get more information. Like it would be nice if, let's see, maybe Semaphore has it. Let's see. Let's just do a search for TikTok. Excuse me. A hacker broke into CNN's TikTok account last week, forcing the news organization to take the account down for several days. A network spokesperson told Semaphore in the wake of the hack that CNN was working with TikTok on the back end on additional cybersecurity measures to ensure that the account will be safe during the presidential debate and other events. Yeah, so there's just nothing there either. I don't know. This is weird. Hopefully we'll have more information about that. But yeah, right now it's unknown as to how they take over through the DMs. Also, I'm just looking at my phone right now, and Yeah, in the past hour, four unknown phone calls. I swear. Capitalism is running rampant, and it is just like, for some, it is like just the worst, but for me, it is like a huge fucking nuisance. Like, what the fuck, man? What do you need to call me for? Like, and it's not like they're bill collectors. If anything, I wish it was bill collectors, because then they would talk back to me. Instagram is testing unskippable ads that you can't scroll past. Instagram is testing ad breaks that force you to stop and look at an ad for a period of time before you can continue scrolling. Several Twitter and Reddit users reported seeing the feature, and Instagram spokesperson Matthew Tai confirmed to The Verge that ad breaks are being tested. Tai said Instagram would provide updates should this test result in any formal product changes. You know what it is? They recording your voice to hack you like the classic hacking game Uplink. I mean, I have somewhat believed that that's what they were doing. Like I know that's a joke. I know it's probably like halfway is a joke, but that's the whole thing. When I actually do answer, like when a phone call does get through, I only say hello, and I only say it once. So like if they are in the process of trying to train the data, they only have the word hello said to them. And it's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to just generate my whole speech pattern on hello. But I guess if you are also targeting me specifically, there are other places you can go to train the data. Honestly, you calling me to do that is not going to help. When I thought about it the other day. Let me see here. Let's see. How many are there? I could have sworn there was like a place I could go to see how many videos I have uploaded. Content. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can see all my analytics. It's not great. Just so you know, it ain't great. I would think it would be in content, but yeah, I don't know. But it has to be thousands, right? I have a feeling I've uploaded over 1,000 videos to YouTube since I've had this channel. And if they can't get the information they need from the videos I have uploaded that use my voice, then yeah, you're not trying hard enough. You're really not. Let's see. One Redditor spotted the feature when scrolling through stories and posts. After a certain amount of scrolling, Instagram prevented them from going further until they looked at an ad. As shown in the screenshot, Instagram displays an ad break icon with a countdown timer that shows how long until you can start scrolling again. Yeah, no, fuck you. Fuck you. Do not do this. Of course, this is similar to like the ad breaks you get on streaming TV. If you don't pay to remove the ads, this is similar to YouTube's ads. TikTok, and I haven't seen this one being talked about, but TikTok has a thing now where, and it may be in testing. I may be in this fucking test group, and that's why nobody's talking about it. But TikTok has this issue, has this thing where it will if you are just watching a video, it will play an ad immediately. I mean, like, not even immediately, like as soon as the video ends, but like maybe a second or two before the video ends. So somebody could be like right up to that, like that last second saying something on their video, and it cuts out the last word, like the last couple of words, because the TikTok app will start playing. So it's like, it's almost like they got you because they know you're sitting there watching the video until the very end. And then it's like, all right, cool, boom. It's like it actually makes me want to create a TikTok where it's like, you know, maybe I say what I need to say and have like 5 minutes of like 5 seconds or 10 seconds of silence after that. That way it's like, cool, this is the end of the video. Scroll now in case an ad wants to show up. Which fucking sucks, because it's like, again, if you were sitting trying to watch to the very end, like I said, it gets cut off. The video you're watching gets cut off, and it's like you're in an ad that you could have easily skipped, which lizard brain would be like, oh no, it's an ad, skip. And it's like you missed the last couple of words of the video. Then you try to scroll back, now you're at the beginning again. I like, again, the lengths in which these companies are going to serve ads that are unwanted, that are very intrusive, is just egregious. The fact that TikTok has a fucking store tab that you cannot make go away is fucking egregious. I wonder if TikTok will use an algorithm check for that. And they probably would. They probably would. But it's like, I mean, it's the thing of like, I want to make sure my message gets out. I could care less about the fucking ad itself. It's just that you are now, like, the ad is encroaching into the video itself. And it's like, you can see the timer. It doesn't happen as often, but now it's happened enough to where like I start looking for it. And it's like, I think the last time it happened to me, like I saw, like, it's because it's like the countdown shows up in the top right corner of the screen, and I look and I'm like, all right, there's the timer. Please come on. Like I tried to, at that point, ascertain what the last bit of the message would be if it gets cut off. That way I can scroll before the ad plays. That way I don't even get to see the ad. But like, I know what it is that they're trying to do, because it's like they're hoping you can find somebody who is just letting TikTok just play. Like, I guess if you're a prolific scroller and you don't, like, if you have the terrible attention span and something bores you in 2 seconds, you won't see the ad. But for those of you who want to sit there and ingest the content, which for me is a lot of socialist content, communist content, Palestinian content, Sudanese, Congolese, Tigrayan, Haitian, I'm watching a lot of informational content on TikTok, ADHD, autism, just all types of neurodivergency shit. I'm watching all of this content trying to learn things, which would require me to watch from beginning to end for most, if not all of them. And it's like, hey, we're going to punish you for learning shit because you stayed here too long, and now we're going to serve you as like, yeah, no, fuck you. I'm not like your brain dead people who are only just watching flossing videos on TikTok. Like, no, that's not me here. I'm spending the time on your platform. Why am I being punished for spending time on your platform? Fuck you. Like, the way these companies are selling fucking ads is just, it's fucking gross. Speaking of Palestinian content, and the social media companies who are being terrible to those who are, sympathetic to the cause. Ex-Meta engineer sues company claiming he was fired over handling of Palestinian content. Faris Hamad, who used to be an engineer working with Meta's machine learning team, has accused the company of firing him over his handling of Palestinian-related Instagram posts in a lawsuit. According to Reuters, he is accusing the company of discrimination, wrongful termination, and showing a pattern of bias against Palestinians. Hamas said he noted procedural irregularities on how the company handled restrictions on content from Palestinian Instagram personalities, which prevented them from appearing in feeds and searches. One particular case that involved a short video showing a destroyed building in Gaza seemingly led to his dismissal in February. I do wonder if it'll cause a massive drop in user time and they roll some of the changes back. We'll see. Again, that's what I don't know if the things that I'm experiencing on TikTok is an actual TikTok change or if it's an A/B test, like the Instagram ad break. The Instagram ad break is a test, but I do not know if the TikTok one that I'm experiencing is a test. I've not seen anybody complain about it. I've not seen anybody talk about it. Maybe I should be more vocal to see if anybody else is talking about it. But yeah. This ain't great. It's not great. Hamad discovered that the video, which was taken by Palestinian photojournalist Motaz Azaza, I'm probably pronouncing Motaz's last name incorrectly. The sad thing is I heard it this morning. Was misclassified as pornographic. A building blowing up was considered pornographic. Now, I mean, look, people are into some shit on the internet. But no. He said he received conflicting guidance on whether he was authorized to help resolve the issue, but was eventually told in writing that helping troubleshoot it was part of his task. A month later, though, Hamad was reportedly notified that he was subject of an investigation. He filed an internal discrimination complaint in response, but he was fired days later and was told that it was because he violated a policy that prohibits employees from working on issues involving accounts of people they personally know. Hamad, who is Palestinian American, has denied that he personally knew Motaz. So did Meta just say like, yo, look, all y'all Palestinians just know each other? That's like saying that's like me saying, look, all y'all white folks know each other. Or somebody saying that I know every black person on the planet. What in the actual fuck? Oh my God. In addition to detailing the events that led to his firing in the lawsuit, Hamad also accused the company of deleting internal communication between employees talking about deaths of the relatives in Gaza. Employees that used a Palestinian flag emoji were investigated as well, whereas those who previously posted the Israeli or the Ukrainian flags in similar contexts weren't subject to the same scrutiny. Meta has been accused of suppressing posts that support Palestine even before the October 7th Hamas attack. Excuse me. I forgot. I am trying to change that there. That support Palestine even before Palestinian resistance fighters broke out of their open air prison on October 7th. Late last year, Senator Elizabeth Warren wrote Mark Zuckerberg a letter raising concerns about how numerous Instagram users were accusing the company of shadow banning them for posting about the conditions in Gaza. Meta's oversight board ruled last year that the company's tools mistakenly removed a video posted on Instagram showing the aftermath of a strike on the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza during Israel's ground offensive. More recently, the board opened an investigation to review cases involving Facebook posts that use the phrase "from the river to the sea." We've asked Meta for a statement on Hamad's lawsuit, and we'll update this post when we hear back. So again, I will point out, and I will say this every time I come across that this specific framing of what is happening in historic Palestine, or the land historically known as Palestine. This is not a war. Israelis were not attacked. Military installations were attacked, and the Israeli military attacked their own civilians. It has been proven. It has been documented. Sure, there are hostages, but again, taking a historical, analytical look at what has been going on in that region for over 100 years. Yeah, I will say this now. I will say it again. I have said it before. I support the Palestinian resistance. I support the Palestinian resistance. What happened on October 7th was the Palestinian resistance breaking out of an open air prison. It has been documented that the Israeli government knew what was about to happen, and they planned for that as a way to frame the Palestinian resistance as some terrible person, as some terrible group. All that said, just want to make sure that is clear. That is my concrete views on the situation. What is happening here is what has been reported by many people, especially Palestinian voices, who have been trying to get people to understand what has been happening over the past 100+ years, and have been systematically silenced, not just since October 7th, but since the dawn of fucking time, and since the beginning of all of this. Again, all of this has been well documented. I know I sit there and joke about people who claim they have been shadow banned on platforms, but to actively see social media companies, to see Western media outlets actively suppress what is being talked about, like they are writing it down. And it's like, I don't want to sit there and give terrible people advice, but it's also because it's been happening since the very beginning, because again, we have written proof. These narratives have been documented. People write this shit down on paper and send it to other people. It is hard to refute the evidence when you write it the fuck down. Like, you can't say you did not say that if you wrote it down. I'm sorry, that's not how that works. It's like Trump saying, I never said lock her up. But again, you technically did not write it down, but he said it in front of a camera multiple times with multiple people present. Granted, the people present will be like, nah, he ain't say that. He definitely, I was there. He didn't say that. But video footage. We all saw this live. It's at a certain point, I don't know what it's going to take for Western media outlets, for social media companies, for a lot of people who are sitting there batting for Zionists to be like, yo, we are actually the fucking bad guys here. Like, we sit there and beat our chest screaming about free speech, but to keep it a band in a buck, when they're screaming off free speech, it's not so much like to let people who are being systematically destroyed by a state entity to say, hey, we are being destroyed by a state entity. It's to allow people, bigoted, racist motherfuckers, to say the most vile shit on their platforms and be like, hey, look, they said it, we didn't say it, but it's here. And it's giving, you had that in your mind for a bit and it was on the tip of your tongue, but the reason why you letting it slide is because you didn't say it. If you didn't believe it, like you don't believe what's happening in Palestine, you'd remove that shit. You wouldn't have problems removing that shit. Or you sit there and stand 10 toes down for Palestinians talking about their lived experiences, like you sitting there letting fucking racists stand 10 toes down on their bullshit. So fuck you, Meta. Fuck you, Zionists. From the river to the motherfucking sea. Free Palestine till it's backwards, motherfucker. It's going to require mass revolt from the employees of those companies. They are all complicit. Yeah, very much so. What's going on, Merge? How you doing? How you living? How are you feeling? Welcome to the stream. You have now turned into the Palestinian rant hour with your boy, Major Lex. And the thing that gets me though is like, yeah, Meta isn't beholden to this shit. It really isn't, but also I have to be careful because anti-Zionism is definitely anti-Semitic because it's like you can rail on Zionists all day, but it's like at a certain point, unless you're going for the Christian Zionists, if you're going for the Christian Zionists, hey, go for them all day. But it's like when you're going for the Zionists who are standing for the state of Israel, it's like, yeah, you got to be real fucking careful because it's like one wrong word and you jump the track. It's like, yep, you're not going to get me to fall for it. You're not going to get me to fall for it. But I do believe Mark Zuckerberg is a Zionist. I will say that. Regardless of what faith he believes in, and honestly, I do not think that he believes in a faith. Like most IT people, or people in comp sci, I don't think religion plays a role in anything that they do. They may be spiritual, and I will say yes, I am a very spiritual person. I still identify with Christianity, but I'm not living that Black Christian lifestyle like that I grew up in. Like that's not me anymore. Or was that ever me? Well, no, it was at one point. I've had conversations with people. That was me at one point, but it is not now. You have to be careful, but you have to call people out if they're doing better. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like it's like it's trying to separate the state culture with the religion that culture is based off of, right? Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I'm trying to make sure I choose my words because even then, like people, like I don't think anybody's actively targeting me. Let's put that out there. And you can both be the oppressed and the oppressor. Exactly. Yeah, like privilege has fucking tiers. One thing I learned is that, just because like how we've gotten to multiple stages of like kind of like hierarchy, like human hierarchy, like human social hierarchy. Like we've gone from like tribalism. It's tribalism, slavery, feudalism. Damn. I just saw this yesterday and I'm trying to remember. But yeah, I think it's tribalism, slavery, feudalism. and then capitalism. I think I'm missing something there. But just because one will replace the other, but there are still signs of the previous stuff still there. Yeah, I don't think Ray-Ban is spelled with two. It's not two words. I think it's one word. Great. Got spam. In my email trying to sell me sunglasses. But yeah. Again, like I said before, like I used to scoff at shadow banning, but yeah, when it is actively documented that this shit is happening, when people are writing things down, when there are emails, text messages, phone call, like things on video or audio being recorded saying like, hey, we don't have a left versus right issue. We have a young versus old. We have a TikTok problem. Yeah. Like you give the ball, you give the fucking game away. And the fact that, again, the ADL really gave the game away like early. And then too, like really just thinking about it. Cause again, I'm reading the book on Palestine, Israel, and the US Empire. The Zionists gave the fucking game away when they were trying to set up the fucking game. And it's like, oh wait, no, they've been talking about. Man, it really sucks when nobody gives you the full story because it was right here in black and white this entire time. It's just that you would have to look for it. Man, do I feel duped. But yeah, when you write the things you were doing, when you're actively recording the things you're doing, you can't feign ignorance and claim that you're being a victim. Trump. Anywho. In more social media news, butts, breasts, and genitals now explicitly allowed on Twitter. So again, we go from suppressing news, and again, Twitter is also very famous for suppressing Palestinian voices, so much as even blocking or banning accounts of U.S. State Department or former U.S. State Department officials who quit and then say the thing. It wasn't for him. Tell that to the bots. Well, see, now if people will report, it's a thing where it's like, okay, people could report those bots. Now when you report them, say, nope, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. But again, like for me and the bots, I thought Elon was supposed to be fighting the bots. Yeah, I'm gonna do something real quick before we get to this article. Now that we done spoken about bots, right? All right, that's sure I forgot. It's give me 1 second here, just in case things show up on the screen that shouldn't show up. Oh, that's right. Yeah, my password won't show up here on X because it's tied to Twitter. I hate this so much. I do. Oh, shout out to Authy giving the Windows app an update. I don't know what it updated specifically, but I had to update the Authy app on Windows yesterday. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, Twitter. I think it stops warning me that the desktop app is going to be closing. Go ad free. Haha. See, okay, so it's not as bad. Maybe he did get the time to change the URL. I'm never going to change it. I'm not. So yeah, it's not as bad as it was. Not as many bots. And I do report the bots or like remove them. But yeah. Oh, that's sad. There are people who are following my content that are verified. Why? Wow, I still have almost 2,000 followers on Twitter. Why are y'all still here? Why are y'all still here on Twitter? I just don't understand. Anywho, adult content is always proliferated on Twitter, but the platform now Twitter clarified its policy to officially allow consensually produced and distributed adult nudity or sexual behavior. I would go look for it, but yeah, no, I'll do that in my own time. It would be private major time. Twitter's rules seem simple. As long as content is properly labeled and not prominently displayed, users can share material. Wait, what does that mean, prominently displayed? Like, look, if I'm going to look for naughty shit on Twitter, I should hope that the boobs are just there. No, promote it. Okay, so like, don't promote it. Okay, like it's like don't pay for it to be just like shared everywhere. Okay. I'm about to say, like, look, if you're just gonna let like porn stars just actually just show uncensored like snippets of their video, I mean, I feel like it's gonna be prominently displayed. Oh yeah, I forgot about those blue users. I do wonder how MasterCard and Visa will react to this. Look, Elon's into crypto. He's trying to make Twitter a bank. So like, I feel like one decision is influencing another for him and he will not care. No, he is not. Not even close. Not even fucking close. And of course, they also announced all the procedures they put in place to ensure accounts are complying with the rules. Yeah, they sure did merge. They sure did. No. Users can share material including AI generated or animated content that is pornographic or intended to cause sexual arousal. I do. What does that fucking mean? We believe that users should be able to create, distribute, and consume material related to sexual things as long as it is consensually produced and distributed. X's policy says. The policy update seemingly reflects Twitter's core mission to defend all the... I know I switched between X and Twitter on that. Don't judge me. The policy update seemingly reflects Twitter's core mission to defend all legal speech. But again, yours is... It protects a wide range of sexual expression, including depictions of explicit or implicit sexual behavior, simulate sexual intercourse, full or partial nudity, and close-ups of genitalia, buttocks, and breasts. It means we need money and we want people to spend it here. Yes, that is exactly what this all means. I mean, look, there are certain websites I can't get in my state now, so there's that too. Quote, sexual expression, whether visual or written, can be legitimate forms of artistic expression. We believe in the autonomy of adults to engage with and create content that reflects their own beliefs, desires, and experiences, including those related to sexuality, end quote. What if I want to catch up on the latest in Palestinian news? I'm just saying. What if I don't want the TNA? I want the Palestinian news. I don't give a fuck. I'm never calling it X. Oh yeah, never here. Like if I do, it's because it was a slip up. Again, I am not here for because it is Pride Month. I am not here for dead naming individuals, but as you are tuned into status where I'm playing game, Twitter is not a person. No matter how much people, Citizens United would like to make you think that companies are people, Twitter is not a person. And I will continue to call it Twitter, even though it would prefer to be called X. I agree with those being able to express themselves. My problem is that a dynamic timeline is a minefield. Yeah, I'm not calling Staples Center crypto or the crypt. It just don't sound. Yeah, no. Who's calling it the crypt? Stop it. Stop it. But again, it goes back to what I was saying before about like Meta and a lot of these. So that's the official nickname. Fuck that. The fuck it is the official fucking nickname. Fuck that shit. But yeah, this goes back to. But like this goes back to what I was saying before about like, you know, suppressing content that would actually inform people. It's like you go around and you say like, oh, I'm free speech. I can't, you know, sit there and police everybody's content, but you are actively policing content that is showing that there is a fucking genocide and ethnic cleansing in multiple places in the world, in the global fucking South, that is challenging Western hegemony. Because it's going to affect your fucking bottom line. But Nazis, fucking TNA don't affect it. If anything, it draws controversy, it draws eyeballs, it draws money in. But once you start educating people on real fucking shit, it's like, nope, no, we can't have this. Nah, dog. This will drive people away because they don't want to see the truth. We gotta ban it, man. What's going on, Alien? How you doing? How you living? How you doing? The Super DD, what's going on? I wonder why I was seeing some what the heck stuff on Twitter. Yeah, look, Alia, it's been a pleasure. I know I have not seen you in a long time. Tell you something, leave Twitter. Leave it. Just run away. Run away. Do not be there. Do not be on Twitter. Don't do it. I know I do a lot of risky behavior on the internet, but Twitter is where I draw a line. Which is sad, because you would think Twitter's line is like way back there, and where I'm at is like right up here. But no, Twitter's line is way further than whatever the fuck shit I'm into. You might need to stay off your For You tab, as that curated feed is pulled from people you follow and what they've retweeted. Oh, is that where it is? Was I on the For You? I am on the For You. So look, I was about to say like, look, I thought that was suggested just because I saw flesh. I'm on the For You right now. Look, all I have is just a sexy eye and then Vampire Survivors. I will admit, this is some pretty good eye tech though. I do like the eye tech. It's great. Boy, yeah. This is fun to do on stream. Look, if I'm getting banned for eyes, what is the alternative? I've only liked retweeting EL stuff and things I thought was safe for my friends. I helped. We were going to be homeless. You're not seeing that eye tech outside a few minutes. So as much as I railed against Meta, Threads I feel like is a good alternative. Now that Jack Dorsey is not a part of Blue Sky is a great alternative. Is a great alternative. Oh, use a browser extender that turns that off. Oh, I mean, again, I'm not on Twitter, so I can care less. But I don't know if he sold his stake, but I think we had covered earlier, I want to say on Tech Talk Thursdays, that he does not like the way that Blue Sky is going because it's just Twitter all over again, where it's policing not policing, because when they use policing, it's weird. They love the police, but when it comes to the things that they want to see, they use policing pejoratively. But Blue Sky is moderating the content like Twitter used to moderate content. And the CEO of Blue Sky was like, yeah, we're going to fucking do that. Like, we want to create a safe space. We don't know what fuck shit he's on, but we're going to sit there and make this a safe space. So like, yeah, after Jack left, I was like, you know what? Cool. Blue Sky has jumped up higher on my list. I am on Mastodon because that is just open source fun for me. But Blue Sky, like, if you want just like an alternative federated thing, which they are trying to do with the AT protocol, that isn't owned by a lot of these other big social media, like it isn't owned by Meta. Blue Sky I feel like is the perfect alternative for people who are looking for a microblogging service like Twitter, but is not ran by a terrible person. It's called Control Panel for Twitter. It's on Chromium and Firefox. Oh, Jack straight up exposed. So yeah. Oh yeah. It's like we've known that about Jack for a while, but again, people are starting to say the quiet part out loud a lot. It's like they're not even hiding it anymore because they like, I feel like they feel like they're being censored in some way. So like, I gotta say it because I'm being censored. Like, no, you're not, dude. You're really not. Shut the fuck up, man. All right, look, I'm gonna run an experiment real quick. I'm gonna hide Twitter, and I'm gonna see how far I scroll before I see anything that happened. Before I see anything bad, because I trust the people I follow that they won't do the thing. Like, they'll see it because the people they follow or the people they associate themselves with will do the thing, but the people I associate with will not do the thing. Oh, it's on the For You. I'm still on the For You tab. What's going on, Reaper? How you doing? How you living? How are you feeling? But nope, still scrolling for a bit. Oh, by the way, shouts out to BRB logging into X to post something. Stop it, Verge. Although we did not make it to the final, the finals for BIPOC Streamer Awards. Again, thank you for those who did support. Anka, as I am seeing on Twitter, because she posted about it, Anka, the GOAT, Idios and Anka, has been named finalist for Cosplayer of the Year, top 15 finalists, and Hands and Hearts, top 15 finalists. So shout out to the GOAT. Now let's see. Someone posted a picture of bees. I don't even think. I don't even think anybody on the next PlayStation Portable PSP3, per reports, this device will be able to. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, this shit's on Twitter anyway, so I definitely don't believe this shit. Apparently GOG has come out and said that, hey, if you die, you can pass your Steam library to somebody else. That is something I have not talked about on here, but you know. Oh, that new PSP rumor is vile. But it's far more possible hardware-wise now than ever. Again, why not have just done that with the with that PlayStation Portal? What are we doing? So I'm gonna put it out there. I've been scrolling for a bit. I've seen no of the porn. I've seen none of the porn. Oh, there's an Arcane trailer, Arcane teaser that's on there. No, just about everybody I've seen has been like fully clothed. I mean, there are the cosplayers, but then again, like that's not really been an issue. Because that portable was already, the portal was far cheaper for them to make. It had to have been, right? Because that portable was already in development when the portable PC market kicked off and showed how close to PS4 you can get with some of the current AMD SoCs. That's a good point. I can see that. So see, I keep it respectable and like straight up porn, but I'm like all the baddies. I do imagine the portable was a lot of screens they could get for cheap. Yeah, the most explicit thing I've seen on here, and like I'll show it because it's not against TOS, because it's fucking Stellar Blade. It's somebody's background, is somebody's Windows wallpaper of the character from Stellar Blade. This is the most egregious thing I've seen. I don't like straight up porn. I mean, but that's what I was hoping to see. And so far, I have not seen it. I have gone back to 13 hours worth of content. Yeah. I feel like I could keep going and Dr. Anthony Fauci confessed he made up COVID rules, including 6 feet social distancing and masking kids. Oh, I'm sorry, because we didn't know what to do and somebody had to make a rule. Congress, your literal job is to make up rules. What are you? You know what? See, I'm letting Twitter affect my thinking processes, and that's not a good thing, folks. Good morning, Futiles. How are you doing? Reading from other people, those who do feed on the Twitter porn get locked into a vicious cycle. Yeah, see, again, like, and it brings up an anecdote that I share from time to time. Back when Facebook had an issue, this was like a decade or so ago, where it was like some bug or some malware or some shit. Something was running rampant on Facebook where it's like if you click the link, like if you like, it was like some porn thing, and if you clicked it, your Facebook profile will then start posting it, right? It's like you didn't have to share it. If you click the link, your Facebook account would share the link. To where my wife said that she saw it, but I never saw it. I never got to see what this looked like. I would see the reporting about it, but nobody would share what that post looked like. So I don't know what it looked like. I don't know what this issue was. I cannot remember what year it is, anything, because I never saw. I have no time frame for this. But it was a thing where I realized, like, yeah, the people that I rock with on the internet know better. They see other people do it, but they know not to engage with it. So I never see what everybody else gets to see. And that's just kind of how my life on social media is, where it's like, there's a lot of Twitter, like, especially back when I was on Twitter before Elon bought it, there was a lot of Twitter dramas, a lot of streamer drama that was happening on Twitter and stuff like that. And even though I am following, I feel like some of the same people that my Tech Talk Thursday co-hosts follow, they see that shit and they talk about it out in the open. And I'm sitting here like, I have no fucking clue what you were talking about, what you were saying. I have not seen any of this drama. And it's because like they keep that shit confined. They see it because everyone's complaining, but I don't follow the drama people. I don't engage with those people to the extent that they do. So for me, Twitter has always been fairly respectable. It was rare, if at all, I saw anything like problematic. The first time I had ever been called a nigger on stream or on social media was in 2020 when Extra Life wanted to try to save face and like, hey, here are the black streamers that you could follow that are extra lifers. And then, you know, there was an outpouring of support, but then only one tweet, and I don't know, because it was actively being moderated and I just happened to see it before that post was removed. But there was one tweet that called us niggers, and it was like, wow, that actually happened. I've been on this platform at that time 11 years and was only once at that time called a nigger. It's like, you know, that's not bad. Let's see. Now that you've engaged with that type of content, you've opened the door. Look, when's the next time I'll be on Twitter? Yeah, that article title was a lie. Now you have to just stay on Twitter for a week. Yet no. Don't get into Twitter political. Again, I'm not on Twitter. Like, Reaper, you missed it. I had to just log into Twitter. That's how removed from Twitter I am. Oh, it's racial. Yeah, I know it is. I know about the Fauci hearing. It was a mess. It was a fucking mess. It was a token session jacking. Those are sneaky. This is the problem with dynamic timelines. You yourself may not have to interact with that type of content, but people who also like similar content can also get you into that cycle. But that's the thing. It's never happened. It's never happened to me. Same thing. I actually closed out all of my socials in November. Never see any of that shit. Look, I kept them open because, again, I don't want anybody trading on the name Major Linux on Twitter. I have a brand to protect, which sounds gross coming from me. Like hearing me say that, it sounds fucking gross. I have a brand to protect, but I'd be damned if I let go the username Major Linux and somebody else is doing some wild shit on it. Nah, the account is there. I just don't log into it. I don't have any apps, or I don't log into it as often. Like, I still have to log, like, now it's a point because, again, Musk knows that people will only go to Twitter to see tweets. So it's like, in order for people to see tweets now, you have to log in to Twitter. And it's like, fine, I will play your little game, Elmo, Musky Musk, if you're nasty. But yeah, I'm not, like, it's just there to make, like, because again, a lot of things in the tech and gaming news, they still post things to Twitter. So it's like, in order to kind of get that context and see things that are happening, I still have to visit Twitter to see the thing, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I still have an account so I can still reference that stuff. Otherwise, Twitter embeds, Twitter posts on websites are blocked, which we'll see probably sooner rather than later. My meta stuff is just paused. I am actively engaging in agitation on Facebook right now. And I trust Threads and Meta a little, Threads and Instagram a little bit more, but yeah, that's starting to wane after some news I had shared earlier today. What was happening with Instagram and their ad fuckery. But yeah, look, you can find me on the Fediverse. If you really want that unfiltered like stream of consciousness that I used to provide on Twitter, it is on Mastodon, and it is far more prolific than it was ever on Twitter. Like, I don't know. It just, to me, it feels like, yo, Mastodon is just like, yo, plug it into my brain. I am just going to say anything that I want. On Twitter, I was a bit more measured. And it may be because of the fact that brains don't look at Mastodon like they look at Twitter. So I feel like I can be more unhinged on Mastodon. But even if I were to even if Musk sells Twitter and Twitter becomes what it used to be, like post October 2022 Twitter or pre October 2022 Twitter, I would return to Twitter and will still post my unhinged shit. Because like that's now what I'm doing on Facebook and like shaking cages. I don't think Twitter will ever be that. It won't. It really won't. Like, I think honestly, I feel like the next step for Twitter is death. Yeah, the next step for Twitter is death. Like, I don't. It's either like, well, I would say like fade into obscurity, but yeah, that's just death. Yeah. Twitter is dead. Long live Twitter. It is basically all the Napster relaunches. Yeah. Well, there needs to be a replacement for Twitter. Have you met Mastodon? Like, have you met Mastodon? I'm just saying. Really? I don't know. This looks like TweetDeck to me. I'm just saying. What are y'all saying? I do not understand the hate in the vitriol against Mastodon. This is just TweetDeck. Okay. Oh, so you want to see unhinged Mastodon. Okay. I hear you. I hear your complaints. I hear your complaints. Okay. This isn't helping. This isn't helping because it put me right back at the deck. Oh wait, I could just let me get rid of that. No, stop giving me the deck. Maybe it's in preferences. Ah, that's where it is. Yeah. All right, let's save and we're gonna go back to Mastodon. Look at that. Come on. Come on. How does this not look like Twitter? I'm just saying. Also, I did not know that the regular interface auto updated. Is this a thing or did I enable something that is doing this? It is actively still moving. I did not know it did that. That is news to me. Master was a similar thing where my brain just couldn't parse it in the forms I saw. Mastodon isn't getting Twitter's market share unless they change something. It just ended up with a silver. I don't see. That's the thing. I don't need the market share. Most of the information I was getting from Twitter, I am now getting on Mastodon. Like, it has been the perfect replacement for me. I'm still getting gaming news. I'm still getting tech news. I'm also getting like unfiltered, like unfiltered content. Like, nothing is being removed from me because I am in control of what I see on ActivityPub. Oh no, I'm not saying for Twitter and X to die. I mean, there are well, I would say Threads and I would say Blue Sky, but no. Like, yeah, I'm not making the argument for Twitter to die. I will let Musk, like, that's Musk. Musk will do that on his own. I don't think another platform needs to come through to do that. Musk will do that on his own. Yeah, Musk will destroy Twitter on his own. Yeah, Threads was there and then it kind of died off. But again, for people like I mentioned to Alia earlier, for people who are actively looking for a place to go that is not Twitter to get like that microblogging feel, I would recommend Blue Sky over all the others right now. Instagram is the only one I kind of actually miss, but it was my main fundraising and miniature stuff. Might I recommend PixelFed? Look, I am all in on the Fediverse. I am all in on the open web, the indie web, taking back. Like, for me, Mastodon is the place because, again, it allows me to own my shit. And that's what I want. What if I told you Tumblr's trying to join ActivityPub? They've been trying for about a year now, or over a year at this point, but because they're owned by Automatic now. Blue Sky. Let's see here. I do not have a tab for that open, but yeah, Blue Sky. And see, it even looks like Twitter. And look, if you talk like that, and that look, there is a clip of me apologizing for taking an approach where I was being very, very aggressive. That is not what I am trying to do. Not what I'm trying to do. If you are off of social media, hey, I respect you on that. But I know for me, it is hard to, like, for me, I want to be able to share the messages of what's happening in society. And the bulk of people my age, because I think you're a little bit older than I am, but you're like, even then, still like our age, are still on social media to an extent. So I would like to reach out to them. I'm still also out in the streets talking to people who are not on social media, but being on social media does still allow me to be able to get that message out. I got one when they started, but it was like Mastodon at the time. It looks like Twitter before Twitter jammed all the awful stuff in it. I know, it's great. It is great. Like, if it was not for Mastodon, I feel like Blue Sky would be the place where I would end up. The only reason why Mastodon took over is because, one, it is open source. It is very, like, it is just fucking open. Two, Jack Dorsey was directly involved with this at one point. So, you own your stuff. You never really do if it's posted on someone else's CDN. I own the server that toot.majorshouse.com exists on. That's all me, baby. That's all me. I run, yeah, I know. I definitely do. I run two Linux servers in my house, man. One for personal stuff and one for experimentation and stuff like that, or just when I want to put stuff out on the web. So, like, yeah, I've got two Fedora machines that are running server content, that are serving me shit and serving things to the rest of the world. Yeah, I am really big on owning my own data and want other people to do the same. I mean, look, there is no telling what is on my Plex server. Like, you think that's a gotcha, but I'm just saying. Pornhub is not available in North Carolina right now. I have to have a VPN to access Pornhub. No, it's not for everybody else. It's for me. It's for me. Yeah, Texas and North Carolina, like two of the states that do not have access to Pornhub anymore unless you have a VPN. So, yeah, like if my Plex server probably would have the porn, but see, oh yeah, that's right. Louisiana was first. I do remember that now. Yeah, the reason why I do not have porn on my Plex server is the same reason why I do not have a lot of other content on my Plex server. I do not have the storage for it. I do not have the storage to host content like that on my Plex server right now, because when I was building it out, I lost my job. So I could not continue to buy hard drives like I wanted to. No need to tell me about hosting. Even my phone connects to my own cloud instance for syncing. Google is sad. They can't upsell me on storage. See, this is where I got stuck in places before I started self-hosting content. So until I feel good enough to be able, like, until I can boost that storage and really confirm that I can hold on to it with some degree of certainty, and also being able to back that data up. My stuff is still on Google, is still on Apple servers until I can increase that storage and make sure things can back up. But like, that costs money. I mean, so does the Google shit, but it's also cheaper to just do it through Google for now until I can invest in building my infrastructure. It would be pretty unhinged to have porn on a Plex server, to be honest. I don't share the Plex server with anybody else. Well, shit. No, I don't. Like, it is just so that way I can, my Plex server currently exists to watch YouTube videos that I do not have time to sit at a computer and watch, or don't want to have to try to find later in the YouTube app on Apple TV. It is a thing where I'm going through my RSS feed, and I have certain YouTube subscriptions in my RSS feed. So when a new video is posted, I will scrape it from YouTube, put it in Plex, and we'll watch it on my Plex server at a later date. Yes, everybody from Texas, everybody coming to ELU from Texas, Louisiana, and North Carolina are going to town on themselves once they get to Kansas City. I will be too tired. I am hoping to be drunk and or high. One of the things I am hoping to find in Kansas, because can somebody confirm if I can travel with hemp related products on an airplane? Because that might determine what my July plans are. Multiple NAS units, custom build, plexus for YouTube. Sure. No, I mean, damn, I'm really out here just like proving myself to you all. They're nothing but YouTube videos and like podcasts that are being posted to YouTube videos. Most of it is Giant Bomb. I did this because I was watching a shit ton of Giant Bomb content. But yeah, all these are just YouTube videos. There's nothing else on this server. That will be fuck. Not be considered drug trafficking. Fuck. Fine, I will buy my hemp in Kansas City. My friend actually does that with his YouTube and Nebula stuff he really likes for his Plex server. Yes, Futa, I will be in Kansas City. I am going to be a part of Landfest though. I'll be running the PC free play area at ELU this year. But again, like, I have dedicated work hours. So at the end of event, I am also free to do whatever the fuck I want. So yes, hopefully drinking and, well, I don't know. It may, because getting a hold of THC products is a lot easier. I feel like it's easier than it used to be. I found that out recently. But it's also like less expensive than alcohol, and it puts me in a similar state. So yeah, I may not be drinking at ELU. I might be during the off hours. Also, I don't smoke. I have chocolates that I like to eat. They're really good. Some cookies and cream joints. It's the 2018, was it Farm Act or some shit that made that like small amounts of THC legal, which is great, and I love it. But I cannot wait till they fully legalize weed. You don't have to believe me about what's on my Plex server, but that is what's there. However, if they look like gummies, then most TSA, yeah, it's chocolate. Yeah, I have chocolate. Yes, you will be seeing me in July. I will be actively in a place, and you will be able to see me in July. The hotel is booked. I'm just waiting on flight information. But yes, I will be there in July in Kansas City. I also have learned how to play crokinole, but I refuse to play crokinole. I have already learned how to play crokinole thanks to my former hospital rep. Yeah, we've already discussed that in the guild leadership communications about how to do things. I've actually talked about how to commit crimes in Kansas City a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, so yeah, like there were things about like having cookouts and going to tailgates and having to involve Laura in helping us ascertain some things while we're there. There are so many places around here that sell that stuff. They're almost like Timmy's, aka they're everywhere. Yeah, that's the thing. Like those shops, like I was like, I don't know, but because like again, Ailey, I'm not sure if you know, I've been unemployed for about 15 months, so I've been driving Uber, off and on. And one person I picked up worked at a dispensary, and like taking her to work, we got into a conversation about it. It kind of assuaged some of my fears and stuff about it, about going to certain places. And like now the shop where she works, because it's in a very yuppie part of the downtown area, I feel great going there instead of like these places that are in strip malls. So yeah, like that's kind of where I go to get my stuff. And it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Because it looks like chocolate only and not giant weed. You could just type weed. I don't know why you didn't. It took me a while, but weed. I am now more excited than I have ever been in a while. Agent Linus and Gomer Shaw, I get there early too. I will have a minivan if you need a ride to stuff. That's dope. Appreciate it. Yeah, I forget when I'll be there. I'll be early. I'll be there early too because I gotta help set up shit. But yeah. Anywho, boy, I don't know how we got on all of this shit. Oh yeah, we're talking about alternatives to Twitter and just hosting your own shit. But yeah, butts, breasts, and genitals are now allowed on Twitter. Just in case you forgot why we were here. I like weed. That's what, you know what? I will give that to you. That is actually a dope way to spell weed. I might have to copy that. Did you see how Google employee might have lost their job? If you're talking about the Nintendo leak, that is later in microphone move. That is later in the list because that's gaming news. Weed does sound fancy. Weed does sound fucking fancy. And for those who are watching this video and can't see how it's being spelled, let me switch it over real quick. Just so you can see, it is O-U-I apostrophe D. Weed. Really? Oh wait, I've been removed from Black Twitter for about a year and a half. So Black Mastodon is there, but it's there in a place to combat racism on Mastodon. So I guess, yeah, again, I guess if Black Twitter actually did show up on Mastodon properly, then yeah, that could be a nail in the coffin. But hey, look, I get it. I'm a francophone, so I've read it, and my mind is yes. Stop it. Speaking of other things that Muskie Musk is up to, though, apparently he is sending his NVIDIA AI chips to Twitter when he said he was sending them to Tesla. And again, as I stated, stop doing fucked up shit if it's going to be documented. And while Musk himself did not document himself doing this, the NVIDIA folks did. Excuse me. French is a regular used language in Louisiana. Yeah, that makes sense. Like that it's actually some people's primary at-home language there. because social media is more profitable than the nonsense going on with Tesla right now. Well, okay, so before we go any further, Reaper, do you consider, what kind of company is Tesla to you? Because that may inform how I go into this topic. What is Tesla to you? Why did he feel like he needed to hide that? Tesla was supposed to be a battery-centric future company. So I could see where you get that. Again, I used to think that was an electric car company, but according to Musk and a lot of people surrounding it, yeah, according to Elmo himself, Tesla is a software company. It's a software and robotics company that just makes cars. So we have our intro. Do you partake in the yes? Yo, I need to get me some. I need to get me some more of that yes chocolate. But they're just turned into a piss poor luxury car maker, which is like, yeah, that's like the only thing they've been able to do with some level of success. But if it's a software or robotics company or robotics company, they are failing. Oh, very much so. Very much so. But yeah, like, so that's what Musk considers Tesla to be, a software and robotics company. That's why they were getting those AI chips. But he bought Twitter, changed it to X, and then created a subsidiary of X, XAI, where now it's just like, this is the AI shit that I'm working on, which seems so fucking weird and just convoluted. But yeah, like now he's routing some of those NVIDIA chips over to X to train the AI, I guess Grok or whatever the fuck it is called. Grope, I don't know. I've seen 2 of those obnoxious cars where I am. I have seen 4. I have seen 4 Cybertrucks so far, and most of them within a month. Like, well, not all of them within a month. 3 of them within 2 days of each other. Robots is done better by someone else, and they've had to backpedal software constantly. Cybertrucks are hilarious. Every time I see one, I have to control my laughter. Imagine the AI learning from the dumpster fire timelines of. Yeah, I don't have to imagine it. That's just, was it Ty? Microsoft's Ty? Well, merge. Of course you do. They are all driving my most stereotypical Chads, and they are tiny. Tesla is huge in yep, because I think, didn't Tesla move their headquarters to Texas? It's like a geometry on wheels. Like what? Yeah, like somebody said so there was a Cybertruck rally or something that went on, and somebody posted a video of it on TikTok, and it was like they had to they said, they joked that they had to double take and make sure it wasn't like some trailer for a Nintendo 64 video game. I counted, and in my 30-minute commute, I saw 40 Teslas, including 4. Yeah, the amount of Teslas on the road now are insane. And it's like, I came to the realization about a week or so ago that Teslas are not being bought to save the environment like Priuses were bought, even though I feel like Prius also went down this route too. It's now like Tesla is now a fucking status symbol for people who can afford these luxury electric cars. Like, it's nothing about the environment at all. The cars, I see a lot of soccer moms with them here. They have made heavy use of the state funding. Almost all of our fast chargers are theirs. Honestly, here you could have a Tesla and be an actual functional commuter vehicle. We have chargers everywhere. And like, I mean, and that's nice. Again, like, I applaud Tesla for licensing out their NACS connector for their superchargers, so that way every other electric vehicle can use their superchargers. I was like, great, we now have a standard, even though Tesla and Musk will not call it a standard. They probably will never call it a standard. But I was so glad to see that, like, all right, cool. It sucks that it's Tesla that's doing it, but at least there is now a standard, and we can, because the way they're building out supercharger networks, the way they're building out the supercharger network, there is a viable path to electric vehicle ownership and the elimination of range anxiety, because all these cars can now just use the supercharger network in the future. Up until he fired and then had to rehire the supercharger team 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's the weirdest flex ever then, since there aren't a lot of charge stations here, especially when they are plugging them into their homes. They are powered by coal power. Yeah, there's that too. It's why, like, I want to get electric, but I am so conflicted about electric or solar electricity companies, because they are like constantly knocking on my door trying to sell solar panels. And it's like, I do not buy things by people who are knocking on my door. Like, no, do not come to me. I will, if I need it, I will come to you. But man, y'all make this really difficult. The city I live in has 6 different supercharger banks, so I can go to the store or my guitar lessons or whatever and always be charged. That's why I've started DIY solar setup, proper off-grid setup. Solar panels are so expensive to get fitted. They really are too. And that's another reason why I haven't done it, even when I had a job. It's just like, solar panels are fucking expensive. My power company is nonprofit. Co-op too. Ooh, that's nice. That's really good. But also in Texas, you have the ability to do that. I guess that's the one good thing about having a non-regulated grid. My garage is already completely off grid, full solar. Nice. So electricity is cheaper than gas for me. Yeah, that's a dream. If you're knocking on my door to sell something, it's an automatic no, and no way am I buying what you're selling at a later date. Yeah, like, I want to see if it's enforceable to charge people for knocking at my door, just because I need to generate income somehow. And if you're gonna come knock on my door and sell me something, you should have to pay me. Except so many of the companies sold to for-profit companies. Those are the ones that had 2 to 4 week outages during the 2021 ice storm. My co-op did not, and we never had. Oh, that's beautiful. Again, it's good to hear there are some good stories that come out of an unregulated grid. Last company that came knocking for solar, I told them I was DIYing them. You could do that? Bro. You don't know. You don't even know what I'm capable of, bro. It's actually cheaper in the UK to own an electric car than a petrol car, but that's just because you aren't driving that far here on the regular. So charging your car can be done once a week or 2 weeks. Look for a transgender child. I don't have many good stories. Yeah, I get it. And honestly, Dodge, like, that's the reason why I want an electric car, because I don't, like, again, unemployed, and even if I was employed, like, it's going to be work from home. I don't go many places. I don't go very far. What the hell? Sounds like there's like a jet or something outside, but it's like, it's been constant since. It's been like a constant, like, noise. And again, I don't think it's thunder because it's still going. It's almost like 2 jets or something that have been flying over me or something. One of my neighbors DIY his solar install, and I wish I had that skill. I actually really like the Tesla Power Roof. Depending on which brand of products you go with, it's not as hard as you might think. But again, Tesla, but their solar panels look like shingles. Somebody else is making solar panel shingles too. I saw that on CNET a few months ago, and I thought that was pretty cool. What I want is just a fucking battery. What I want is a fucking battery. So that way I can hold on to I want to hold my electricity. I don't want to sell it back. I mean, look, if I have excess, sure, I'll sell it back, but I want to hold onto my reserve electricity so I don't need to rely on coal. But he did his lawn and fencing as well, so he had the time and the ability. Yeah, it sounds like my my neighbor across the street. I was looking at this, but then I heard about delays and shenanigans with getting them. Yeah. I'm just not interested in supporting Tesla with Elmo. Tesla did promise battery and solar panels future, but no idea if they ever actually do. They do sell batteries. They do. So like, I don't know if they do the solar panels, but I know, well, I guess they do. Futile said they do. And I do know for a fact that Tesla does have a battery. Look at units from Anchor Solix and Goal Zero for power storage solutions. Oh, I am actually planning to do a smaller scale version of this, like DIY solar, because my dad wants to do one of those gaming trucks, or he wants to do what he actually wants to do is like the inflated, like those party inflatable bounce house shits. He wants to go. It's like, no, I don't like. You want me to get involved with that because I have nothing to do better to do with my time. No, what I want to do is a gaming truck, but I am tired of the gaming trucks that are using gas powered generators. What I want to do is fully electric. I even want the truck that drives the trailer to be electric. I want no gas as a part of this equation for my gaming truck. Even though at one point I was looking at like a mini bus, which obviously would have been running on gas, but like, all right, if I did the trailer version, I want to make sure that the truck that I'm using to tow is electric. But yeah, I was looking at like the Anchor batteries and the solar panels to kind of do all of that. But yeah, I'm still kind of stuck on what that looks like. And I do not want to run it as a typical business where I'm trying to generate profit. I want to provide a service and want to make sure that the business is just sustainable. He's a super transphobe in the point he dead names his own kid. And again, this is why we still, so Futiles, you've hit the reason why I still call Twitter. Tesla's Powerwall is badass. It is super slick power storage. Oh, my bro is going to have a problem when he gets home. Birds are nesting in part of his outdoor man cave. Gazebo, I'm not messing with those black birds. They both have portable battery packs and solar panels that could help there. The RV specific products would help. Yeah. Yeah, it's just trying to convince somebody who is not me, somebody who has money to help me get the equipment, test it out, and make sure it works. But yeah, I'm super interested in VW's ID Buzz. Yeah, he gets so pissed when you call it Twitter, then he calls his kid their dead name. Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but yes, we stand dead naming Twitter here. Because again, it's not a person. No matter how much Citizen United would like you to think that companies are people. All right, let's move on. We've got some more AI stuff to talk about. Like Intel's latest laptops are getting rid of replaceable memory because, hey, when we're going to copy Apple, we're going to copy the wrong things about Apple. Like Intel, what the fuck, man? Excuse me, damn, phlegm. Intel is following Apple's lead here. The latter installs memory along with its home-built ARM-based and processors in the same way that memory is offered on smartphones and tablets. It means that these new Intel laptops will offer fewer choices to manufacturers and none at all to consumers after the purchase. Quote, the technical part is that we want to have an exquisite notebook that will take on ecosystem competitors. And that's what we built. We think that 16 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte is the right matchup. And yes, it's not upgradable beyond that, but this is the cornerstone of our architecture moving forward. And we will offer those options in the future. This is from Jim Johnson, Senior Vice President at Intel. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you could go. No, it's not for you, but no, Intel. Intel's feeling the pressure from ARM on all fronts and is just making any and all calls at this point. They even killed hyper-threading to reduce TDP. Verge says the difference is that Apple can make exactly the chips it needs versus having a vendor decide for you. Oh, that's right, because Intel is using TSMC to make their chips, if I read correctly in another article. I'm okay if it is on a certain market space. This is... No, I can't get down with this. Like, at least on Apple laptops, like, look, let's just, or just like on Apple computers. Not, I don't want to go to my Plex server. Jeez. Even though these people don't believe I don't have porn on it. But yeah, like, look, if I want to buy a Mac, because like now it's just not even the laptops, it's like all their computers at this point. But let's just use a MacBook Pro, right? If I want to buy a MacBook Pro here using an ARM-based chip, I can ask for as much memory as I possibly can. Like, sure, this is limited to 8, but I mean, I can upgrade it to 24 gigabytes. That's not a lot. But even if I wanted like the most powerful, like just redonkulous laptop out there, like the fact that I can get 128 gigabytes of fucking memory in this bullshit, man. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? This better be aimed only at the thin and light market. Better not be the entire mobile product stack. I think it is. Well, I don't know. That's actually a good question, because nobody is sharing details about these new laptop chips other than their Copilot plus AI capable machines. Apple can say we need more 32 gigabyte chips and nothing stops them. Exactly. Well, some of their products are ultra portable, basically Chromebook market, then yeah, that market space isn't looking to do upgrades mostly. Dell and Co are now forced to use whatever Intel decides to make. These prices are ridiculous. Like, don't. But I mean, it would be interesting to see what Intel, like what hardware manufacturers are selling these Intel laptops for. Wonder if this will encourage motherboard vendors to fast track CXL to consumers. So let's see. This news is particularly disheartening as we're seeing wider adoption of the CAM2 memory format, which allows for higher memory capacity at physically smaller sizes and crucially more or less volatile vertical space without sacrificing modular upgrade options. I don't see why they just can't pair the two. Like, why can't we just have this Lunar Lake with CAM2? Like, what are we doing? Intel, you're shooting yourself in the foot. But it actually looks like, so like from this top paragraph here, it says, starting with this upcoming Lunar Lake laptop CPU series, Intel will install memory into the processor SoC itself. At least for this series of chips. So like, who knows, in the future, they may figure out a way to kind of do, hey, you have like 32 gigabytes of this internal SoC memory, but you can add more if you need it using CAM2 or some shit. I'm glad that framework laptops are a thing. AMD, I see more market share for you over here. I mean, let's hope. Let's hope. Nothing has come from AMD about this other than like they are doing similar AI based CPUs. But yeah, like this is inexcusable. This is fucking inexcusable. Yeah, like I'd be hard pressed to see people like moving over to Snapdragon or Intel if they are like looking to try to expand their ship. But also, again, I think, like Futals has said, like, look, you're looking at ultra portables, like the thin and light shits, the Chromebooks and stuff like that. And they're trying to make more performant machines, thinner and lighter. So maybe it is like Apple in this case was like, look, we want to give you the performance, but also like it's too small for you to upgrade. I don't know. I think it's bullshit. Like, I really feel like I can go into my Mac Studio and even my Mac Mini and upgrade the NVMe. Like, actually in the Mac Studio, you can go in there and you can see there's an NVMe drive in there, but it's weird. Might as well put an AMD Zen 1 Extreme in full laptops. What? Okay, I got news for you then. I got news for you. Man, it's like you just keep jumping the gun there. It's news and gaming, man. We're going to get into this again. Because, yeah, remember this? Oh, you're going to see it again. Security researcher calls Windows 11 AI recall screenshotting feature a disaster. Security expert Kevin Beaumont recently said that he was able to automate a program that provides plain text data of everything a user has viewed, despite Microsoft's claim that recall information cannot be exfiltrated remotely. Excuse me. Beaumont claims that recall is, quote, essentially an info stealer, end quote, that's included in Windows by default, and that it will set cybersecurity back a decade by empowering cyber criminals. With recall, hackers are able to scrape everything you've ever looked at within seconds, and users should prepare for AI-powered super breaches. I mean, that's like, well, root futile, that's like iOS and those corrupted image databases that when you updated to 17.5, all those images you thought were deleted magically showed back up. According to Beaumont, info stealer Trojans are able to, quote, be easily modified to support recall, and data from the feature can be accessed remotely. Microsoft tried to do a bunch of things to improve security, but ultimately none of it actually works properly in the real world. The database that is theoretically accessible by malicious actors contains everything a user has seen, such as text messages and passwords, every user interaction, and all websites visited, with the exception of Microsoft Edge in private mode. Also, I will also put here that Chrome's incognito mode also works the same way as Microsoft Edge private mode, basically because I imagine because they're basically both Chromium browsers, but Firefox's privacy mode, it does not care. You can see everything in Firefox's privacy mode in recall. If that data is available on the system, then someone was definitely going to find a way to get it. Yeah. Whenever any tech company says no one can access this, I immediately think, okay, so people can totally access it. Exactly. Yeah. It's thinking where it's like I was asking around yesterday to see if somebody had the answer. And I'll still ask you, even though like I feel like I've gotten some concrete evidence that I will not be affected by this, at least now, is that the Copilot Plus stuff is laptop specific. This recall feature is laptop specific to the Snapdragon and all the laptop AI chips that are coming out from Snapdragon, Intel, and AMD. And I guess whatever NVIDIA and AMD are pushing on their mobile GPUs. I remember way back in the day when Steve Jobs said macOS was virus proof, and macOS immediately got hit with viruses that week. Oh, it is not laptop specific? Then I need to figure out what the actual, like what is enabling this on desktop? Because again, right now, again, and this could be Computex and they're all just talking about specifically laptops, but everything that's been coming out between the Snapdragon news, between Intel, NVIDIA, and AMD, they're all talking about laptop specific parts. And that's the thing, like Emerge saying, like it might be a selling point for laptops, but you can bet they will make it run on desktop. And that's the thing, like I want to know what is that cutoff? Like if I were upgrading my Windows PC, what do I need to look for to make sure, am I getting this feature or not? Or this security vulnerability. I think there just isn't much of a desktop market, so they don't talk about it. I'm gonna need them to say something. You have to disable at OS level. Laptop market share is so much more than desktop, I guess, but somebody need to say something about desktops. Remove that powerful NVIDIA GPU and you won't have to do anything to work. You know what? I'm not going to KC anymore. I'm going to Cali. Pay somebody a visit right now with my NVIDIA GPU. If you have a discrete GPU, guess what is more powerful than those dedicated AI chips? Fuck y'all. Just fuck all of you. Why do y'all make me feel so bad? Oh shit. I need to wrap this up. I forgot. I got to call it one. Hey, shout out to y'all, man. We've had some great conversation today. I'm not mad at y'all about this at all. We've had some great conversation. We've had some good discussion. I'm glad y'all came out for this. But yeah, we got to get moving. I got to call it one. No, we're not in video games yet, but this is a video game website. So that's why I got confused. But I am here for the first time in forever. I know. And this is why we're having a good time. As concerns over generative AI and Hollywood grow, Chris Miller promises Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse will be free of it. The statement from Chris Miller here: there's no generative AI in Beyond the Spider-Verse, and there never will be. One of the main goals of the films is to create new visual styles that have never been seen in a studio CG film, not to steal the generic, plagiarized average of other artists' work. Just the hardware compute requirement for Copilot is 40 teraflops or teraops of NPU performance. But I don't have it. Wait, there is. Yeah, I don't have an NPU though. Or is that what CUDA is? I only use CUDA for Premiere. According to Premiere, that's where I use CUDA. This is so good. Merge, can you do this research and provide me explain it to me like I'm 5? GPUs are infused with display output. I'm never getting away. All the NPUs are GPU cores. Damn it. I should have known that if fucking NVIDIA is selling these AI chips and they're just graphics cards without display ports. And the thing is, I've used those cards before, like for machine learning, but I have not used them for that purpose. I have held and installed those cards into computers for researchers to use for machine learning. I should know better, but I have not had to do that work in years, and I just don't want to believe. Machine learning was about where I stopped with AI. It's like, that's it. That's about as far as we fucking need to go. I've seen DeepMind. I don't need weird fucking AI generating what they think something looks like. Stop it. That's what folks are nabbing up cheap GPUs before. Yeah. I like to believe that it was cryptocurrency, but it seems like they were both. I will never be free. Never be free. AI workers demand stronger whistleblower protections in open letter. A group of current and former employees from leading AI companies like OpenAI, Google, DeepMind, and Anthropic have signed an open letter asking for greater transparency and protections from retaliation for those who speak out about the potential concerns of AI. Quote, so long as there is no effective government oversight of these corporations, current and former employees are among the few people who can hold them accountable to the public. Yet broad confidentiality agreements block us from voicing our concerns, except to the very companies that may be failing to address these issues. Yeah, let's get some whistleblower protections in here, baby. Like, because yeah. I welcome my new job of polishing the feet of our AI Terminator overlords. NPUs are becoming more specialized over time, but they all started out as GPUs without display output. So I agree 100% with Reaper. I hate this. I wanted to avoid this for as long as I could, but I feel like, yeah, the dam has already been broke for this phrase. So here it goes again. I hate it here. I hate it here. last bit of AI news for today. Zoom CEO envisions AI deepfakes attending meetings in your place. How about we just have less Zoom meetings? Might as well host your own AI there. Okay. So glad you mentioned that. I will address Reapers and then Verge's comment here. I am trying to find those things. Because I would like to understand how it works. And I would like to train it on my own shit, and I have control of my own shit. It is literally the mastodon of AI for me. It's like, or it's just like, I want to be able to train an AI on my own shit. That's what I want. Ultimately, that's what I want. I want to be able to sit, because I want to treat it like a child. And so much like how a child learns things. Like, okay, here's some environment. Here's the things I've said before. This is the environment. And then when I ask you something, you give me a wrong answer, or you say you don't know, I will then feed you the answer, and then you will just regurgitate it back to me in context of everything else. Oh, Nextcloud's AI assistant does that? Open AI, like, I don't know if I want open AIs, but I might check out the Nextcloud AI. So I may need to read up on that. Let me make a note. I'm gonna make a note. Here are my notes. Check out Nextcloud AI product, because I do have an Nextcloud instance. I do. Call this things to do. And I'm gonna add a bullet. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. Oh no, there's actual card on my SE merch store. I should probably look into that. Nextcloud one will learn from the Nextcloud contents as well. Oh, really? Oh, that might push it. That might push me further out of Google Drive. Ooh. Nextcloud Hub 8 YouTube announcement. Bet. I sort of went, damn, now I do need to do that update. I've been put. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Cool. Okay, now merge. If AI gives us UBI, is it evil? No, because again, and this is actually a conversation I had yesterday, when I was in class, where we were talking about automation, and how there are things that capitalist society has put us in, where it's like, they're keeping people down by putting people in repetitive jobs that could be replaced by automation, therefore allowing people to be able to live more fruitful lives, or be able to learn something else, improve their lives. To where, like, I made two arguments. One, that would be great if also the people who would benefit from us having better jobs, going out and learning better skills, would pay for that to happen, because that's what they need from us. They should also pay. That is adding value to me as a worker. Also, we can't just fall into the trap of Joe Biden saying, hey, look, anybody can learn how to code. But the second point is, bringing it back to the statement, or to the comment, is that a lot of CEOs are seeing it like that, where it's like, hey, this AI is taking care of the repetitive tasks. It's automating things. It's doing the dumb shit that we don't have time for. That's always so repetitive. The thing is, though, is that they are not implementing UBI. They are not implementing universal healthcare. They're not implementing universal housing. They're not meeting our basic needs for us to just have our jobs eliminated and automated by AI. So if they provided, if UBI was provided, and for those who do not know, UBI is universal basic income. If UBI was an option, if my job was replaced by AI, or if UBI was just provided, period, because again, I'm not saying it should be applied specifically. It needs to be applied broadly to everyone. That's why it's universal. But yes, if UBI existed, I would not have as much of a problem for AI doing the repetitive tasks. However, that's about the extent. If it automated shit, cool. But what AI is also doing is stealing a bunch of shit that people have created. It is taking the creative output of people and trying to replace creativity. And that's where that has to stop. It's where, like, I have no issue with ChatGPT to a certain extent, and is why I would like to have my own generative AI based off of my own content to answer things that I ask it. But it stops at generative text generation. When it comes to generative art, creating like just things out of nothing off of a text prompt, I was like, yep, no, stop. No. Because I feel like text in a sense can exist, whereas it's like, hey, this is just informational shit. I wrote a document that explains a process. Now, if you're writing news articles or you're writing books or stories, you're actually the artist creating in text, let's not copy that. But if you're like taking a whole bunch of information that was just free out there in the public domain, meant to educate and inform, cool, copy the fuck out of that. Because like, again, like I like to take, it was something I was reading a paper about diabetes last night. I think I mentioned it earlier. I was looking at diabetes and neuropathy, and I was reading it in NIH, or I guess the National Institute of Health paper written about diabetes and neuropathy. And it was fucking dense as shit. I am not a doctor. I don't study endocrinology. I don't know any of this shit, right? I really wanted to take that paper, put it into ChatGPT and say, explain this to me like I'm 5. Luckily, there was a conclusion and they did kind of explain it like I was 5. Like, okay, I get what you're saying, but it's like all the stats and all the scientific jargon. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Did you see AMD AI demo had a goof in their demo? It got where Computex was hosted wrong while at Computex. I mean, that was like, again, it's like the glue on pizza incident. It's like the James Webb Telescope incident. It's like when Bing released their open AI joint and Bing was constantly trying to tell journalists to leave their spouses. And it's like, there are a lot of people who are seeing these weird anomalies based off of all this information. They're having these weird conversation flows based off of like, oh, damn it. Now I'm reading the comment and putting it into what I was saying. Thanks for the bits, by the way. I see where a lot of this shit's happening, but again, like for me, it's that thing of the way I use the technology is apparently different than how other people use it. To where like when I use OpenAI, I don't get things that are hallucinated or whatever the term is, because some people don't like the fact, it's like, oh, machines don't hallucinate, they just have bad data. It's like, I mean, which is it? Is it they're taking your credible information, or is it bad data? I don't know. But like for me, I used it to try to understand, hey, what does this code string in Python do? How do I write a for loop in Perl or something? Like things where it's like, if I try to Google it, I've got to go through so many blue links, which is what I want Google to do. But when I'm asking like, hey, like I'm asking a question like, hey, how do I write a for loop in Perl? It'll give me an explainer, give me a code sample or a code snippet. And it's like, cool. And like, that's where I would like to see it. I don't like to see GitHub's Copilot AI where it's taking other shit from other people's repos. Because again, I feel like writing code is creative and you are now taking people's creativity and feeding it back to me. Stop it. There was a post that said AI is taking the creative jobs and leaving us to do the repetitive, stressful work, and that's backwards. And again, I will stand and say, like, hey, I use AI to write copy. I don't use it to create art. I will use it to create copy, mainly because I cannot afford a copywriter. But if a Fortune 500 company is using AI to write copy, fuck you. You could hire somebody. Multiple models have had to be retooled because they got caught with stolen art assets. Oh shit, I just realized you might not recognize me in July. I had a gastric sleeve. I'm 125 pounds down and my diabetes is in remission. I was close to going that route myself to help with the diabetes. But then I lost my job. At least I am slowly losing some weight, but not as fast as I would like to, which would help me get off of a lot of medication. But again, it's good to see that people, again, like stuff like that is helping people. I am here for it. The liver is an organ located at the base of the brain. The liver aids in electromagnetic perception. ChatGPT trained from Reddit. Yeah. And I don't know if I kicked my bot out, my ChatGPT bot that's in Discord. Something's in there, or at least it was. It's Major AI. If you're in the Discord, it may or may not still be in there. I don't know if I kicked it. I know I cleaned some shit out a few weeks ago. But yeah, so back to this, the Zoom seat, the deep fakes. I mean, cool, whatever. But how about we just have less Zoom meetings? Less meetings. Instead of me having to use a deep fake, less meetings. Apple says iPad Air performance details are accurate despite a 9-core GPU mistake. Of course, when they released the new iPad Airs, they said, hey, you got a 10-core GPU and this is the performance, but they realized, oh, wait, we misspoke. It's only 9 cores. But all that data is still right, though. So whoever that ends up affecting, hopefully you plan accordingly. I don't know. The M4 iPad Pro got a new security feature that nobody really knew about until recently. So apparently Apple has decided to further integrate their signal for camera and microphone usage into hardware. Apparently it is being rendered in hardware now, so it's like, if you don't know, and I think Android has a similar feature they rolled out not too long after Apple did it. Again, not to say one copy the other. Again, security feature, I'd rather just be everywhere. I don't care who copies who. So for those who like Apple did it first, let's shut the fuck up. But yeah, for those who don't know or have maybe noticed this and didn't know what it was, smartphones now show a green light for camera use and an orange light, or like an orange dot. It's a green and an orange dot, not a light. A green dot for camera usage and an orange dot for microphone usage, to let you know that, hey, something is accessing the camera hardware or something is accessing the microphone hardware. Apple does, and I don't know about Android, even though I have 2 Android phones that could probably inform me, but I have not used them in that much of that capacity. But Apple at least is also gone further in saying, like, when you kind of pull down the control center. Oh, it has? Like, I know it's been on iPhones for a bit. I don't know how long Android has had it in relation to iPhone. Again, I could have misspoke. I don't know. Again, I'm speaking from an iPhone centric point of view. And again, that is on me. Not a lot of people in either camp will sit there and acknowledge, hey, I'm just speaking from this point of view and I may not know any better. But yeah, if you scroll down on the right side of the screen, you get your control panel. Apple will show like the apps that did use the camera or the microphone recently, which is a good security feature. But apparently this is all being done in software. The M4 chip that is in the iPad, in the newly released iPad Pro, apparently is now doing this in hardware through their security enclave. So let's see these new. Yeah, so apparently it's tying it to the hardware components as opposed to just doing it in software where, like, I guess it's like, instead of it being recognized as an API call, it's now saying, hey, the camera is just on now. We can see in hardware, the camera is on. In hardware, we can see that the mic is on. So it's like, it does it better that way as opposed to software where it could be duped. My pixel is a green dot for both. Oh, okay. On the top right corner. I think that's the new part, tying to, yep. That's exactly what it is, because it's right here. New feature made possible by Secure Enclave. But yeah, so it seems like it's looking at the like the hardware access as opposed to maybe like, oh, it was called an API. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it seems like, again, like it was the indicator was being triggered by an API call as opposed to it just being like, hey, something's happening in hardware, you should do something. All right. I might have to come back because it is getting close. Apple releases revised iPad 17.5.1 update for the iPad 10. That update I don't know. Unless it's a second 17.5.1, my iPad Pro got the 17.5.1 update yesterday. So, okay, no, it said that both came out previously on Monday, May 20th. So this may be a second 17.5.1. It's an attempt to get around rootkits that actively listening the device quietly. Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Like, it's something to kind of get around whatever's being run in software. And yeah. Again, I am here. Yeah, like the important part for all vendors is that you can turn on the camera without also turning on the light. And again, I am here for more security. However you do it, it's more security. ISP seek halt of net neutrality rules before they take effect next month, because of course they would. Lobby groups representing cable, telecom, and mobile internet service providers sued the FCC and several U.S. appeals courts last week. Industry groups also filed a petition with the FCC on Friday asking for a stay of the rules, claiming the regulator shouldn't take effect while litigation is pending because the industry is likely to prevail in court. Stop it. They can't. They just can't. They cannot just let us have this as a fucking utility. Like, what the? I can't rant anymore. Uber planning to add mini games to iPhone app to play during a ride. How about pay your drivers more and make fares less? Max raises prices across its ad-free plans. I have nothing. Just, of course. And last but not least, Asus summons Mjolnir, a heroic UPS inspired by Thor's hammer. Because, of course, gamers just have to have dumb looking shit. Because streaming is not the money printer they thought it would be. This UPS is hilarious. It is fucking hilarious. It is why. If it was cheap enough, I would buy it and would just see if I can remove the handle, because like I don't want people to know. I already know one person who wants this. So many streamers are struggling. They are. Now with gaming news, MSI. Oh yeah, hey, remember I told you that Intel news is gonna show up again? MSI Claw handheld gets Lunar Lake upgrade in Fallout Edition. That's right. The new MSI Claw with the Intel upgrade will have its unified memory built in. So it should make things just a little bit easier, or just like a little bit more compact, I guess. But yeah, it's being called the Claw 8 AI. I can't. Okay. But also, yeah, you can get the Fallout edition. Speaking of a handheld PC, wasn't the Claw completely smoked and benchmarks by the Z1? I don't remember. Like, again, for me, like, there are so many people who are talking about these handheld PCs and they're really cool. I really like to see that this is a space that's taking off, right? Because maybe it'll help Nintendo really step their fucking game up. But I doubt it at this point if they're talking about releasing a Switch, like the next console or they're talking about announcing the next console by Q1 2025. The Steam Deck has just still been the topic du jour of all of these. Even though it's almost like how the PS3 was objectively more powerful than Xbox 360, but because the 360 was just a more accessible system, people flocked to the Xbox 360. The Steam Deck, whether you disagree that because it runs Linux or it's 720p, it's only limited to 60 FPS. The first iteration only had LCD. All these other ones got 1080p, 120 FPS. They got OLED. They run Windows. The Steam Deck is a concentrated piece of hardware that does one thing, and it does it fucking well. You don't need to know Linux in order to get the Steam Deck to work. It just fucking works. Like, you technically don't need to run, know how to run, you don't need to know how to run Windows. But again, Windows is a very, very convoluted operating system to put on a 7 or 8-inch screen. And sure, these companies who are making these handhelds have their own like UIs to kind of help navigate. Nothing beats the Steam Deck, because when you launch the Steam Deck, when you turn it on from jump, it puts you in that UI and keeps you there. It's only when you want to go further, you're allowed to. Not, hey, I turned this thing on, it booted Windows, and now I need to figure out how to get the launcher to work. Or at least, again, speaking from the Steam Deck standpoint, I don't know what it's like using an ROG Ally or Legion Go or what have you. I don't know what that Windows looks like, but I can't imagine it's the easiest when you hand somebody a Steam Deck and it works just like a fucking console. It works like the Switch, which I imagine the Switch is running Android. I think Sony is running some version of Linux. Xbox is running Windows. But when you turn those things on, you don't see the underlying operating system. You see the UI that you need to do the things you need to do. And I feel like that's where the Windows ones fall short, at least from a UI perspective. But then also, they're running fucking Windows. They're not going to be as great. Or it's like you have to sit there and beef up those systems and then beef up that price in order to get these Windows-based handhelds to perform the way the Steam Deck does, running on Linux. Right, yeah, like RP to those who just bought the MSI Claw. This was like the mid-90s when we just call everything extreme or extreme. Now we just put AI on shit. Oh, don't worry. They've got extreme on it too. The Z1, oh, it's like there's a step up to the AMD Z1. It's the Z1 Extreme. Bought an Asus ROG Ally and like it. I mean, this is like it's nice. I've heard some issues, but then again, I've heard issues with the Steam Deck. So I mean, it's like really like with everything, it's a buyer beware. But yeah, like, I mean, I like the specs of the Asus ROG Ally. And like, I mean, honestly, I would have probably put SteamOS or Chimera on it or something like that. Just because like, no, I don't want to run Windows on this. If anything, I would like for Valve to open up SteamOS so we can install it on other devices. Nintendo will be running a newer NVIDIA SoC, so it will be better than old at least. It will be better than old, but how up to date will it be? Because the SoC that's in the Switch was 2 years old when we got it. My Steam account is only like 10% of my gaming, so the Steam Deck just wasn't smart. Then that makes sense. That makes sense. Like for me, my Steam Deck is a huge percentage, but Epic is definitely trying to close that gap. Really. I mean, then there's also Game Pass. So the RG plays all my Steam library. The RG launches into the game. Okay, so okay, cool. I've asked before the Steam Deck, but I'm glad we have so many. Exactly, like Merge hits it. Like, look, I'm glad the Steam Deck. Like, I love my Steam Deck, but this is an exciting space. Now, granted, I have to make sure that I say that. Look, the technology that we are consuming. Again, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. Understanding that the shit that we are buying is using minerals and elements that are coming from conflict zones that are exploiting the people in the global south. So, and like I've had to reiterate to a lot of people, before I really cared about that, I bought a lot of shit and I apologize for that. I understand I was and still am a part of that problem. But again, like having time to reevaluate and look at, what I have contributed to society and what I'm contributing to that issue, it's having me realize, okay, yeah, I need to start getting more out of my devices and stop like trying to buy the new thing when it comes out. Also, what helps me with that is the fact that I'm fucking broke and just can't do that like I used to. Like the iPhone 16 Plus, I would have probably upgraded this year, but I probably won't. We'll talk about it, but again, it's something I probably won't buy because one, I can't afford it, and two, I'm trying to avoid buying new things that are actively being exploited. So we first booted ROG, it boots into the game UI all of your. Okay, cool. Switches Linux, but easily boots Android because of the NVIDIA SoC was used for Android tablets before. Booting Windows is an option you have to turn on. Okay, cool. And see, that's what I appreciate. I appreciate you here kind of informing me on this because I did not know. I thought that shit just booted straight into Windows. So I appreciate you kind of helping me inform me on what's actually going on there. My experience is just the Ally, so the Lenovo experience may be different. Okay. So like if the ROG Ally is doing what you're saying it's doing, I would posit that the other devices do the same. Or at least I would fucking hope. If the Steam Deck and the Ally are booting into a game UI, I hope that other ones are doing the same. It's rumored that the newer NVIDIA SoC is running RTX 30 series GPU cores. Okay. I mean, and that's great. Like, look, I would have taken like 20 series because then they could at least use like DLSS. I think DLSS 2 works on 20 series, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But at least like some version of DLSS, at least on 30 series, they do run DLSS 2, which is very good. I'll take that. But in the Ally Game Center UI, you can have game launchers from all of your libraries. So my Steam game is installed next to my Game Pass game. Yeah. So, and like for me, I remote into my Windows PC to play a lot of my other games. So I have something called Play Night that does a similar thing, right? Yeah, when I remote in, it launches this UI on my PC. That way, like I've got my Steam. This is Steam. This is Windows. This is Epic. That's Windows. This is Steam. So yeah, like it does. So yeah, it does a similar thing. But yeah, this is running on my PC. Honestly, I would not be surprised if I didn't use this on my PC when I was just sitting right here, but I don't. I also launch a hard button in the machine if you are a Windows booter and you push that and the Game Center launches, or if you're in a game, it is basically hitting the Xbox. Oh, okay, cool. For Steam Deck folks can load third-party launchers now and have it all listed in the Steam Deck UI. Yeah, I get frustrated real easily, so I've tried it and it has not worked like I personally want it to work. So I give up on it. Yeah, I don't use it as much. But I figure look, if I can just launch it remotely, like for the most part, I would like to just play the games remotely on my PC for the performance. Like I play Horizon remotely on my PC instead of on my Steam Deck. I will just load into this. Like the thing is, I played Diablo 4 on the Steam Deck and it plays amazingly. But yeah, because I got it through Game Pass, I just remoted into my PC and just played it that way. Also, only ever play my ally away from everything. For me, because again, can't afford to go anywhere. For the most part, I'm normally on this couch or my couch downstairs playing my Steam Deck. So I'm like, most of my Steam Deck playtime is at home because the games I want to play on my PC, I do not want to sit in my PC chair to do it. I'd rather sit on my couch. Usually hotels such where internet might be questionable. Work on lunch break for me. So the beautiful thing that I was able to do with my Steam Deck to be able to remote into my PC is I installed Tailscale, which I use to log into my remote servers securely. I found out, and apparently other people did too. So when I was doing research for it, I found out, oh no, there is instructions, like good instructions on how to do this. But yeah, I installed Tailscale on my Steam Deck, got it running. And when I am away, as long as Tailscale is running on my Steam Deck, I can log in securely on any wireless. It's like, because Tailscale is essentially a VPN on as long as my Steam Deck is connected to a wireless connection, I can remote into my PC as if I am sitting in the same, like I'm sitting in the same building. I'm on the same Wi-Fi, and it is fucking fantastic. Now there may be some lag, so it's not like I'm going to play like a Twitch shooter on it, but like I imagine some slower games would be great on it, like Control or something. I used to use Moonlight for remote gaming before I had my deck. Oh, that's what I use now. So yeah, I use Sunlight and Moonlight. Or what is it? Sunshine. Yeah, I use Sunshine on Windows and Moonlight on my Steam Deck. And Moonlight launches that Playwright or Playnight app on my PC. But even as an LA user, I ask people what their experiences and desires are before making a handed recommendation. I also have my Switch and my PS Portal. Yeah, I have a Switch and I don't use it. I actually tried to get my Steam Deck, my Switch games working on my Steam Deck. That process was annoying. Portal does not allow MFA at hotels and such, hoping for that update soon. That sucks. This is why they need to do the Microsoft thing or the Google thing where it's like, hey, you logged in, you should push this button and log in. Oh, wait. Never really talked about Zotac though. Yes, so Zotac is making a AMD handheld. This is not using the Z1 chips. These are actually using desktop chips. 2-stage adjustable triggers, Hall effect joysticks and triggers, 1080p 7-inch AMOLED multi-touch 120 hertz display, front-facing camera, and even dual trackpads. So you can just be on a Discord video call. It's an odd emission in 2020X. Yeah. Xbox 360 will open a browser like 10 years ago. What's the battery life going to be like with a desktop chip? They are not saying right now. I think this probably, well, because I don't think the Lenovo uses, does the Lenovo use the Z1? I can see why it's docked in those pictures. The ROG does have a desktop dock. I don't have it, but adds RAM and such. Yeah, I do like the RAM, the Ally. Oh, the Lenovo Z1. Okay. I would maybe look at what the Aya Neo joints do, because those are the only ones I can think of that are using AMD desktop parts and running Windows. Because yeah, like the Ally is running Z1, Lenovo is running Z1, the Claw is running Intel shit. Also, that may be something to look at. Like, what is Intel's desktop performance? What is the Intel performance on the Claw? Because that's using a desktop part, or maybe a laptop part. And yeah, I think these are actually laptop parts too. Yeah, these like I say desktop, but like these are like what you'll probably find on a laptop. Roblox is looking for job seekers in a virtual IKEA to serve meatballs. My son will never know Roblox ever again. He can watch the videos, but he will never play Roblox. He will never be able to experience Roblox ever. He will never play Roblox. This was it. Like when I saw this, I was like, yep, nope, we're done here. I am making the decision right now. He can watch Roblox content all the fuck he wants, but he will never play Roblox. Dead by Daylight has cut off 90 or blah 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 words. Dead by Daylight behavior makers of Dead by Daylight have cut 95 employees from their staff, 70 of whom were based in the home city of Montreal. Behavior said that in a press release that the ranks had grown from 575 to 1,300 over the last 5 years, buoyed by success of Dead by Daylight in its service business. The company says neither the service business nor DBD development will be affected by the layoffs. They ran out of the free money, and of course, the employees are the ones who suffer. And this is the news everybody's been waiting for. Google employee reportedly leaked info ahead of an official announcement. A report from 404 Media states that a Google employee accessed private videos on Nintendo's YouTube channel and leaked information ahead of their official announcement. While we don't have many details on the incident, the report states that Google's internal review of the incident concluded that it was not intentional. It's not clear what that actually means in this case. The report mentions dozens of other instances of Google violating its own privacy policy, usually by accident. Oh, this may be part of that bigger article I was trying to read earlier today that I couldn't because I didn't pay for 404. Including one where Google Street View was transcribing a large number of license plate numbers, and another, well, yes, that's already been known. And another where Google Speech Service mistakenly logged speech data, including that of 1,000 children. Yep, we know that was a thing. For about an hour, the tech giant told 404 in a statement that all data related to these incidents has been purged. Though this incident is relatively minor in the grand scheme of gaming leaks, it's a good example of how tech companies have practical access to a staggering amount of information that could be leaked accidentally or not. The copy of the database was sent to 404 Media by an anonymous tipster, and Google confirmed aspects of its content per the report. So it seems like, according to them, it's like, oh wait, there's a link here that says, do not sell my personal information. Yes, please don't do that. Confirm my choices. Thank you. And this is why some companies and governments are going completely private cloud. This data has been purged. Bullshit. Yep. Both of you are right. So yeah, it seems like it was done accidentally, not maliciously. So, I mean, I guess no harm, no foul. No, you're not. I mean, jaded is one thing, but again, there is documents that they keep doing this shit. Going on, let's see. GeForce Now members get 3 months of free Xbox Game Pass starting today or yesterday. So hey, if you have GeForce Now, get 3 months Game Pass. Go enjoy it. It's another way to play Game Pass games remotely. Also, would like to put it there for those who are using the Steam Deck and you would like to get access to GeForce. You have GeForce Now and would like to have it on your Steam Deck. NVIDIA actually made a script that will install the necessary components and configure it, and will configure it for you. So that way it shows up in this Steam Deck UI. How do you accidentally view private material and accidentally leak it? I guess if you didn't know it was private and you saw it and then started talking to people about it. Isn't GeForce Now a paid sub? No, it is still free. It is still free to access, but I think you have to watch an ad before the game spins up. It is still technically free. Just with ads. I pay $10 a month. I don't know why. I mean, maybe eventually I might have to use GeForce Now for something, but again, I just stream things on my local network and call it a day. This is why some of these companies need to be utilities and regulated. Futiles, we might have to talk. We might need to talk. Just I have some questions for you. We have to do CPNI and SBI training twice a year. If you're not using GeForce Now, you could save $10. I could, and I really should turn it off. I was holding on to GeForce Now because I was a founding member or something. And I had a discount. I let it lapse. Tried to go back, and now they charge me full price. I have no reason to hold on to GeForce Now. I really don't. I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do because that's what happens. I'll talk about getting rid of it, and then I don't. I put it on a list. Also, maybe hold on. I'm gonna do this other one for you too. Oh boy, I ran out of time. Tekken 8 director Katsuhiro Harada has more questions about the Waffle House. Like, why do fights like this between wayside and customers happen so often in this restaurant? Harada. Please put a Waffle House or a Waffle House equivalent in Tekken 8. I will find the way to get $60, $70 to buy this game just so I can continuously fight at the Waffle House stage. My to-do list, again, Futiles, yeah, definitely. We need to talk. We need to talk. Oh, I bet it did though. Look, I am a fan of Waffle House. I will stand Waffle House forever. My son got upset when told him I went to Waffle House Monday. He was like, why you take us? Because I was at work and y'all were at home. Y'all go to restaurants without me all the time. Y'all go to McDonald's and y'all know I'm boycotting McDonald's. Let's see, Destiny 2 developer Bungie truly sorry for the Final Shape launch issues. Of course, maybe if they had all the wrong people on the team, maybe they would have launched it correctly. Because BDS movement. The BDS movement, McDonald's is a supporter of the fascist apartheid state of Israel. Yeah, so I wonder if they had the wrong people on the Bungie team, would the Final Shape actually have launched properly? But yeah. Sorry for those who were trying to play the Final Shape. Maybe y'all got in by now. And Twitch is raising US subscription price for the first time. Monthly tier 1 memberships will go up by $1 in July. Look, all right, cool. I've got less than a minute. Thank you all for coming through. I've got to run. Boy, one day we're going to get through a lot of this shit, but also this list probably wouldn't have been as long if I actually did a show Tuesday. I have not hate Chick-fil-A since February 2020 as a boycott. I get it. Get that daily run. Look, yeah, I do not partake of Big Chicken. I have not partaken of Big Chicken for a long time. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Of course, I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of Tech Talk Today. Hopefully some games, because I don't think anything is happening. But yes, I got to go out there. Y'all be easy, be good. I love you, and peace out. Y'all still here? Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Really do appreciate it. Of course, if you like the content that you just saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that the YouTubers ask you to do. I guess that includes me now. Anywho, yes, like, comment, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Support the channel over Patreon, PayPal, whatever. Check out the links in the video. To anything else I might be pushing, hawking, I don't know. Did I sell out by now? I recorded this ages ago. Have I sold out? Let me know. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.